it is your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today. Once again, wishing you a very happy new year. We are just chillaxing and we're zooming in and focusing in on what I feel is a great viewer question. This is sort of a long time in the coming. In other words, how can we know what is a healthy relationship? What does a healthy relationship look like? Can you please explore and discuss this? So before we do that, I want to have you kind of understand that once you're in a relationship with someone who is really sort of narcissistic or psychopathic, there's a certain energy, there's a certain vibe that people get addicted to chemically when they're in relationships with these people. In other words, there's a surge of a thrill. There's an excitement. There's a conflict. There's, the resolve. There's the problem, the solution, the tension, the release. It's like a slot machine. People tend to get very addicted to this gambling style of relationship. Are they in or are they out? Are they telling the truth or are they lying? Should I be paranoid or should I trust? And so there's this sort of thrill and also a depression. People can become very addicted to the depression, the apathy. There's something wrong with me. They can be very addicted or stuck in the ruminating thinking, which makes it very difficult to look upon other relationships with a healthy lens or a healthy heart or a healthy, what I call internal real estate, where you're ready to receive and you're ready to be involved. And really, in a good, healthy relationship that isn't plagued or wrought with these specific types of manipulations. Now, any relationship is going to have its issues. It might have its ups and downs or its stresses or its conflicts or differences of opinion. But healthy, mature people can look at that and then, respect other people's feelings and opinions. It doesn't have to be their own, but at least they can respect it. They don't have to manipulate or control or criticize or demean others for having it, but they can still coexist. So it's very important to understand and identify if you have become really a person or have a lot of personality traits now where you're always wanting to be attracted to the negative or the problems or the fix it up aspect of a relationship. And if you are, is there a certain exhilaration that you get, with a bad boy or a bad girl or getting into trouble or hyper arousal or high risk activities with the relationship, particularly with a psychopath, there's a certain hyper arousal syndrome where, you're engaged in distorted thinking, hyper aroused sexually, a high risk behaviors where your boundaries have been violated. So then, if you're not violated, you don't really feel like you're in love. There's a certain, uncertainty that you want in the relationship. Are they going to betray me? Do they have other people calling them? There's this sort of thrill or exhilaration that can oftentimes be a very negative addiction. But to the person who's in it, it seems very positive. The relationship is exciting. It's dramatic, it's, filled with fun and, blah, 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 blah. There's all these excuses, but yet they're in that diluted, distorted thinking. They're really far away from their true values. They don't really know what their true values are because they're so intoxicated with the psychopathic fumes. They're so drenched up in that thinking, in that hyper arousal that they can't calm down. All they want to do is eat, sleep, and breathe this drama. And so, and the same also happens with people who are in relationships with those who are, narcissistic. People get used to the conflicts, the fighting, the trying to explain and justify myself. They get, sort of addicted to the emptiness or the lack or the feeling of aloneness, and then the release of finally getting with them, and then the sabotage, of the relationship, and then self-sabotage. So there's a lot of this sort of crazy making that goes on. And so if you're sort of finding yourself kind of addicted to that and, you need to kind of unhook yourself, get kind of unaddicted, or understand kind of how you can go through a withdrawal or a reduction of that sort of pathology or attraction to pathology within you, so you can then engage in the real deal and not bottom out, not have blackouts, not have emotional blackouts, not have, where fear is just plaguing, everything that you do. You're so afraid, you're unsure of yourself, so you engage in all that impulsive behavior to try to, am I good enough? That's fueled by all that. And so that negativity in a healthy relationship is not what is fueling it. So in a healthy relationship, you're at a whole different space energetically. You're able to be cool, calm, and collected with an open body posture. You're not stumbling over your words. You're not worried about what they're thinking about you. You're not worried if you're being analyzed, judged, or trying to be changed, especially controlled or manipulated. You're to a point in your life where people who are manipulative are not attractive. You can easily and effortlessly let them go and say, not me, no thank you. And even though if it's the person with the flashy watch, the flashy car, the flashy whatever, the flashy figure, the one who everybody flocks to, the big ego, whatever it is, the big title, whatever it is that quote unquote everybody else seems, not me. Okay? It's okay to say no to the lies. It's okay to say no to the illusion. It's okay to say no to the drama. No thank you. There is something better. There is something more secure and stable. When you work on that and kind of understand and grow in that awareness for yourself and really get to understand what is pathological and sick and then what is healthy and not sick, when you kind of get a before and after, or a pro and con sort of dichotomy of thinking, where on this side it's definitely that, and over here it's definitely this. So you get into the definite certainty with yourself, and you no longer are attracted by the uncertainty, the drama, the chaos that is engineered by the manipulative personality disorder types of individuals. You no longer are drawn to that. You're far enough removed. You're far enough out. You've stayed no contact long enough, at least 18 months, to the fact that you're not going to repeat that mistake ever again. You have a fidelity to yourself. And you will then attract someone who's an energetic match and an energetic mate to that. So you will then attract who you are. And especially, if this has been a long time, then you might need to do a lot of this work and really wait for it to come through to the other side. And it's quite easy, but you need to clarify your thinking. You need to have very strong self-talk. You need to be very clear about your I am. And be able to, and not pathologically talk about yourself, but more have a strong sense of yourself. So it doesn't mean to be communicated verbally. It's automatically communicated by your body language. You communicate, you can't mess with me. You communicate with me, you're not my type. You communicate with, you're not pulling that over on me. You radiate a sense of purity, a sense of compassion and empathy, but that's only given to the deserving, not those who are needy. It's a change of your physiology. And it's done through the healthy mindset, and then you're choosing who you relate to. You're not in a need state, it's a choice state. And then you're choosing in the relationships, and then they will automatically and naturally, organically happen, and the boundaries will remain intact, the standards as well. It's your buddy, Peace and Harmony. I hope these videos do help. Please share, subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support. Peace out. Love you.